So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can make your AI tool, whether that's ChatGPT, Copilot, or any of the other AI tools, perform much better. So if you're a new user to AI, perhaps even a first-time user, you might have been underwhelmed or even frustrated by the poor response that you've received from your AI tool. But in this demonstration, I'm going to show you that by using a prompting framework, you can dramatically increase the quality of your response. So whether you're looking to ask the AI tool a question or create some content, as is in the case with this example, following a prompting framework, which we use in our AI training at NILC, is the key to much better responses. So in this comparison, we are using ChatGPT and we're using a temporary chat. As you can see from this description, this means we've got a clean comparison here so that the AI tool, ChatGPT, is not referencing any of my custom instructions or memory. So it's a bit like an incognito window, if you like. And let's take a look on the left. So we have a weak prompt here. Write a Facebook post promoting a dog walking business, but this could be typical of the kind of prompts that a lot of small business users will be using, but it can be improved upon, as we'll see. And then we've got an answer, which is kind of okay, but very bland and very generic. So the response is, "Hi, I provide dog walking services. I'm available to walk dogs in the local area, can help if you're busy or unable to walk them yourself. Please message me if you're interested." So let's see if we can improve on that post that has been created by ChatGPT. So we're going to follow a prompting framework. So at NILC we have 6 prompting pillars, and these are goal, where you suggest the end goal, the outcome that you're looking to achieve; context, which is background information; persona, so you're asking the AI to assume a role; specifics, any specifics or constraints that you've got; tone, so how do you want the response to read; and example or examples, so anything that you've got for the AI tool to follow that can really help. So let's fire this one off and let's then do a comparison between the two. So it's now read the example and it's confirming our information that we put in our prompt, and we've now got our response. So we've got, "If you're rushing between meetings," and that little voice in your head keeps saying, "I hope the dog's okay, you're not alone." So we've got some empathy now with the potential customer. "I'm a Cardiff-based dog walker," so specific there. Over here we just had local, "who works with a small number of regular dogs, so I can be properly reliable and get to know each one." So highlighting a benefit of the service and saying it's not perhaps like other dog walkers who have big groups. "Offer weekday lunchtime walks, ideally throughout most of the day, but want your dog to have a proper break, a sniff and some company. Walks start and finish at your home," so outlining details of the service. "I always send a quick message afterwards to let you know how they got on." And a bit of humour there, muddy paws included if it's been raining. "I'm DBS checked, insured and big on trust," so that's important. You're giving some unique selling points to your potential customer. "If I say I'll be there, I'll be there. If you're in Cardiff and this sounds helpful, message me to book a trial walk." So much better to have a trial walk and to provide an engaging call to action here compared with "please message me if you're interested," which is kind of a little bit weaker there. And we finished off with a pause emoji there, and it's even given us some advice there about when the post should be made. So there we go, a comparison between the weak prompt and a prompt following 6 prompting pillars, or perhaps known as a prompting framework. Hope you found that useful.